Welcome to the Real Men YouTube channel. Now, this is not necessarily the only place we're going to be posting this, but for right now, this is where we're posting this. We just wanted to take this time today and answer some of your burning questions of Jared. And this is going to be sort of an Ask Me Anything format. It's not going to be crazy focused yet, but we just wanted to do an intro of Jared and just sort of get the conversation going. So, Jared, first question, can we have just a very abbreviated Reader's Digest version of like how you came to start a men's underwear company?
Yeah, it's kind of odd, right? So, I worked a range of different jobs, right? It's aerospace for 20 years, industrials, and I was at a pet products company. And, I was there for 4 years. And then as that kind of was winding out, looked like, hey, we need to go do something else. The company was sold to another private equity company. And I've been thinking about doing something online, creating some online business. One of the companies we bought when I was at the products company were a couple of guys that started selling on Amazon and selling D2C on a website, and they had done really well. And so I was thinking, hey, is there opportunities here? And then I started exploring, like just looking at men's clothing in general, just not designed very well to fit a guy's body, right? Not very size inclusive, just generally, whether it's shirts or pants or whatever, right? You just don't have stuff that fits guys' bodies very well. And then more specifically, men's underwear. So I'd literally purchased thousands of products from across the world trying to find stuff that actually fit my body, and I just couldn't find things that actually fit. There was a few things that fit all right, but then they were like $30-$40 a pair, right? And then it was like, hey, how does a guy actually find something that fits their body and they understand what the sizing means? Because there are some like underwear products that have like a pouch. That was the other thing that just drove me crazy is underwear just is not designed to fit a guy's anatomy. Like, and so it's designed like a guy's Ken doll. And so that's where there are some products that have some external pouches, but it's like, oh, they've got these different pouch sizes. One is like Mega Man and one's like Superman and Major Man. I'm like, how do I know if I'm a Superman or a Major Man or a whatever, or a big boy or whatever? Like, what does that mean? Right. And so, so I'm like, hey, we need to actually, there's an opportunity here to design some products that actually would help guys find a fit that actually works for their unique shape and size. And so I started working on designs, and then came to my wife and said, hey, I think we need to start a men's underwear company. She said, what? You know what, the world? Why are we going to do that? Like, you don't know anything about it. I'm like, well, we don't, but we can figure it out. And guys need something like that. And so that's why I started designing and jumped in and went with it.
Yeah. And so that's actually a good, man, that leads to a really good question that I feel like a lot of guys might have. Like, where the heck did you come up with? Because I think I heard rumor that you had done a couple different ways of talking about the size. So how did you finally land on the real pouch system and that ABCD sort of thing? And maybe what were some of the lead ups to that, and how did those go?
Well, there, we kind of, the ABC thing was all just, how do you come up with something that is standardized that people can understand, like a small, medium, large? But we didn't want to do a small, medium, large because people get confused with like a waist size, right? And so, or just some other type of sizing. And so you have women's bra sizing, right, that has the ABC cup sizing. So I'm like, well, okay, that's the male equivalent, to that. So we'll just follow along with it, even though the volumes are not the same as like a cup volume. And so that's where, like, okay, we'll do the ABCD size. And then I'd done a bunch of research to come up and understand what the specific volumes would be for each of those sizes. And so that's kind of how we determined what should be a B versus a C versus a D, and then an A, and so B being the average size U.S. male, and so we could talk about the CCs, right? That's in there. I don't have the ranges right off the top of my head as far as what those different CCs were. Looking at a total total package deal, right? Total
Yeah.
friggin' berries volume for an average size guy. So yeah, initially I was using like fruits to, okay, it's like a
Oh,
kiwi, lemon, apple, grapefruit, and some people are
yeah.
familiar with those. Sometimes they're not, and so that's like then we end up kind of switching over to the balls, like using the pool ball versus the tennis ball and pickleball and softball, because those are closer. Of course, a lot of people don't know what pickleball is. So it's like we've been able to come up with like the perfect like
Yeah.
references, but that's the best that we have at this point. So some people know what a pickleball is, some people don't, some people have never held a grapefruit, some people have. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's not
Pickleball's getting
perfect,
more
but it's at
popular though.
least what's that?
Pickleball's getting more popular though.
It's
So
super popular, but mostly with old people. So all the old people know what the pickleball size is,
yeah,
but it's like anybody that's under 40, they don't know what a pickleball is.
that's, I'll be honest. Yeah. So at our church, like they're like, oh, we have this pickleball group. And I'm like, what the heck's pickleball?
Yeah.
And somebody had to explain it to me. So, all right. Well, that's cool. Okay. So, all right. So you're dealing with these pouch sizes. Okay. And you've come up with the sizing system. Okay, a lot of brands like basically just show everything. Like when you're in this sort of space, a men's underwear space, unless
Yeah.
you're one of the kind of the big box brands that you can get at like Macy's or Marshalls or whatever, who actually don't have any room in the front. When you deal with a pouch brand, generally they kind of show everything. And I've noticed like, all right, Real Men doesn't have a lot of like pictures of guys wearing the product. So can you tell maybe a story of like how you came to that? Why? What are the difficulties?
Yeah. Well, you see that with certain brands, and that they are actually very sexualized, right? And so the product is very easily sexualized. And so that's something from a brand standpoint that we wanted to be very careful about, not going that direction. And so, because the thing is, like with our product, because you have the external pouch, it's something that could very easily go that direction, and that's an easy path to go down, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, I mean, we could probably sell a lot more if we actually would show product like on a person and really highlight the things. But the thing is, from a brand standpoint, we want to be able to help anybody be comfortable buying the product, right? Whether you're a teenager, whether you're a mom, spouse, grandma, whatever. And so we want to be very careful about like sexualizing the product, and so there's a problem just more generally with guys, right? Guys have a very hard time talking about their body in either they don't talk about the body, or it's like in a sexualized, hypersexualized type context. And so as part of our brand, we want to be able to give guys a better language so they can more effectively communicate about their body, and with their kids, their sons, their spouse, their doctor, their others, and be able to have language they can use to share more, just more effectively. And so but then we also want the brand just to be approachable. We want people to be able to come and buy from our brand at work, without feeling like they're going to get turned into HR or something like that.
Yeah.
And so there are some limitations, right? Some people are like, oh, how exactly is this going to fit? And so we try to do that with our mannequins as much as we can, with our prosthetics and things, to show the fit and the feel. The problem is most people are used to like looking at products are on a mannequin. Like if they see it on a mannequin, the mannequin is just like a Ken doll. There's no genitals, right? And so it doesn't really fully represent the pouch, or it's just stretching the pouch out and really not realistic. And so it's like either there's these graphic models with guys splayed out and things like that, or it's like just shown on this mannequin that doesn't have any genitals. And so it's like we're in between that. We want to be able to accurately show the product, but we don't want to have anything that would be really sexualized in nature, right? And so it's like it's men's underwear. We want people to be comfortable and confident, and you can be comfortable in the product without having it like marketed in a sexualized type way, right? So like, so your grandma can go and be comfortable on the site without feeling like she has to go talk to her pastor or something about like buying this underwear up a website, right?
Yeah. Oh, see, and that I find that so refreshing, because my first experience with Real Men was, like, so sorry, rewind a little bit. Like I grew up being uncomfortable in the underwear that I had. and it was like, it says it has a pouch, but it doesn't have a pouch. At least for me, for my particular body, it just didn't fit well. And well, sadly, the only places that I found like a really good product was on these websites that, objectified men in a way that I didn't feel comfortable being on that website. And even if I did find an awesome fitting product, I didn't feel comfortable talking to my friends about it and saying, yo, dude, you got to try these. These things are awesome. Because then if they go to that website, they're going to be like, dude, like, what kind of website are you sending me to? And be like, I'm sorry, it's still really good. And when I first saw Real Men, like I saw like, oh man, there's nothing, I don't see any pictures of guys on this. That's weird because that's harder to do. It's easier to market if it's on a person. It probably would sell better. And so after just sort of watching the brand for like a year or so, I noticed that didn't change. Like it just, more products would come out, still no pictures of guys. And so I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And so that's what really ended up turning me to like really loving the brand, because we've got this, we can market a really great product that fits all kinds of people, yet people, like almost anybody, can feel very comfortable being on the website. And so my very ultra conservative friends, or my very Christian friends, or the grandmas, I can go and say like, hey, you want something that fits you well, and you can try on a few different sizes and kind of work your way to a really good fit. These are the people. So I just wanted to affirm that and say, man, it really is comfortable to be on that website. And no, not every style is for you. No, you might not like bikini briefs. We're not talking about that. But as far as visually speaking, you're going to go on there. You're not going to get turned into HR. So that actually leads me to my next question, which is, okay, so we got these different pouch sizes. You're comfortable being on the site. What if it doesn't fit the first time? And what if like it's not working? How does somebody deal with that?
Yeah, well, it's a great question, right? Because a lot of guys don't even know their waist size. They're like, hey, they have to ask their wife, like, what size am I, right? And so a lot of guys don't even know their waist size, let alone like a pouch size, right? Because that's all brand new. And so we totally get that, right? And so that's why we offer just free replacements, right? So if somebody doesn't get the size that works well for them initially, like we'll just send them another set. But we recommend guys just start with a B size pouch, because the thing is like, because most like 90% of dudes are wearing stuff that does not have a pouch, or if it has a pouch, it's internal, right? So it really doesn't give you any more space. It's just flimsy flap things on the inside that create a little separation, but there's really no more volume available there. So like we recommend guys, just if you're unsure, just go with the B size pouch, because the B is going to give you way more space than what you have today. And then the problem is, like I say, the problem, people try it and 40 to 50% of our orders for B size pouch, right? So that's going to fit a significant portion of the population, and they're good, there. Now, if you're on the larger side, go with the C or D. If you're on the smaller side, go with an A. Or if you want more compression, right? So sometimes some guys with like certain sports activities and things like that, they want more compression. Now, I always want to be able to separate like compression from support, right? Because a lot of times guys are like, my underwear supports me. And like, no, your underwear is not supporting you, it's smashing you. That it's providing you compression, it's not providing you support. So with our external pouch, it's designed to support you without smashing you, right? So those are different things, right? And so if somebody wants compression, then they may want to go with a smaller pouch size. And then maybe more space to go with the larger pouch size. So we have some customers that are B size that choose to wear a D just because they want a lot more space. Some guys that are a D choose to wear a B at times because they want more compression. I don't like compression. I want to have space. And so, but a lot of it is about having options for guys, right? And so, so because we have those different pouch sizes, they can choose now. Like the ball's in their court as far as like be able to decide what type of fit they want to have, right? Whereas before it was like, hey, doesn't matter. You're going to get the same Hanes fit, like regardless, right? So guys actually have options, but we want to help them dial in that size, right? So they order a B size, say you order a medium with a B size pouch, like, holy cow, I love the space, but I actually want to go up to like a C, but I want to go down to a small waist size. You DM
Mhm.
us and we will send you we'll just send you the other size. Like, you don't have to do a return. I hate returns. You guys hate returns. We'll just send you the other side. Because if you're going to invest in us and like trust us with an order and come to us, we're going to like be invested in helping you dial that
Mhm.
in. Because once you do, most guys are going to be loyal and they're going to keep coming back, and they see
Mhm.
that genuine integrity that we have, that we're going to stand behind it and support it. And once you dial it in, we find that guys just keep coming back and back. So 20 to 30%
Mhm.
of our orders every day are just return customers coming back and buying again and again and again. So
Yeah. And that's actually been an interesting experience that I've had, even unique to Real Men. Like, I've owned a lot of underwear over like the last 20 years.
mhm,
But what's interesting is with Real Men, before I would just like switch out fabrics or cuts. Well, what's interesting with Real Men with the different pouch sizes is that, like, oh, it's winter time. Generally, I'm smaller during the winter because it's cold, and I'll wear like a smaller, like either an A or a B sometimes, just because like that's
mhm,
a little, it's cold. I don't want to be all hanging out there and air blowing everywhere because I don't want to be
yeah,
cold. So I've really appreciated getting to sort of try some different pouch sizes along with the different cuts, like boxer briefs during the winter versus bikini briefs during the summer.
mhm,
Um, because it just provides way more options, and you find like that you can do a lot more, and you can kind of just, and what's interesting is like we talk so much about the underwear, but the underwear is not really the point. Like, the point is that you put it on and then you forget that you're wearing something because it's so comfortable, and then you just move on with your day and you're free to think about everything else and you're not adjusting.
yeah.
And I just wanted to affirm another thing. You were talking about the B size being the best fit for most men. Um, I took my dad through the website. My dad is 77 years old. He is not on a computer, but God bless him, he sat there with me over the phone as I guided him through this website. And because of your recommendation of B size for most males, and because I already know what kind of underwear he wears, just like regular old brief cut,
Yeah.
um, he's been really happy with it. And
Oh,
it's just crazy like that, because I never thought in like a million years that I would, like, hey, I'm going to guide my dad through a website and help him pick a pair of underwear. Like, it's
cheap
just
underwear.
like not on my list of things that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought I would do in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So yeah, the website is that good, and my dad was not uncomfortable from what I gathered. He seems to be really loving the product. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy to think that, just somebody like your dad that's been around for a long time. And I have customers reach out to us like very frequently that are 60, 70, 80, and they're like, holy cow, where's this been like 60 years of my life, right? And now I'm like, I didn't realize how uncomfortable I've been for like 60
yeah.
years until I actually have something that now it actually fits my body. And it's like awesome, but guys don't even realize how uncomfortable they are at
Hmm.
times until they actually have something that fits, and then they have that contrast, right? And so
Yeah.
they're like, hey, this is actually what comfort feels like. And then it's once you get a set, and then you have to go do laundry, and then you have to go back to the old ones, your old CKs or
Uh-huh.
PSTs or whatever. You're like, oh, this sucks.
Yep.
So
And actually just a few gosh, like a couple months ago, I was talking about underwear with somebody, and I realized, I haven't worn like a standard pair of big box store underwear in a long time. And so just for giggles, I went out to Marshall's and I bought like a few different kinds. They were really cheap, they were on clearance or whatever. And I tried them on. And I worked in a wood shop at the time, a carpentry shop, and it would get so hot in there, like up into the 90s. I was in hell. Like, it was so bad. I don't even know how I don't even know how I wore that underwear when I was in high school. I mean, it was just like passed on to me from my dad.
yeah.
Um, okay.
Yeah, you just start with something. Your mom bought you your first Spider-Man boxer briefs when you were 5, and you just
Yeah.
keep wearing that, those styles. But yeah, I test a lot, right? I still buy a lot of competitor products just to see, hey, this looks like it could be like decent, right? So I'll buy it and
Hmm.
then try yeah, some things I can't wear more than like 3 minutes. Like, okay, I give up. I give up. I know what it feels like. So it's like, yeah. And so some things I could go longer than others. And it's like, oh, maybe this is all right. But
Uh-huh.
I've kind of been spoiled now since I've been able to dial things in that
Yeah.
fit, go well for me. Probably 99% of things I try on, I can't wear it more than a minute or two before I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna punish myself wearing this for for more than 5 minutes. So
Yeah. You've got a really good product set, and it's working really good. Um, People are loving it for the most part, which is great. What are your sort of coming up next? What are you working on as far as products that people, maybe there's some people who want a certain type of product that and you haven't made it yet. Is there anything that you're working on that people can look forward to?
yes, I mean we continue to refine the products that we have, right? And so we taking customer feedback and adjusting, and we just launched a brand new mesh nylon boxer brief, V-Fly boxer brief, really targeted at travel market. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So ultra breathable. So that's super exciting. We're continuing to expand our seamless. Still working on getting the D size seamless boxer brief out there, and that's in that brushed nylon. Guys absolutely love the material. And I'm looking at exploring some other options around that with that seamless, potentially a jock and a thong and a brief, there with that seamless fresh nylon. But right now we are working on a jock and a traditional jock. We have our pouch jock right now, which is strapless. And then, so we're working on a jock, more of a traditional jock strap style with our signature pouch. Of course, everything will always have the ABCD pouch, and then a thong as well. A lot of guys are asking for that. Tons of search volume there. And it's not something that is necessarily along my lines as far as my preference, but a lot of it is like, um, providing products that actually have that meet people's different needs depending on what they're doing, right? And so in different environments, different temperatures or climates, and different activities, right? And so um, those are some of the ones that we're working on now. So and looking at next going in the holidays next year, or the colder months next year, looking at some modifications on the pants, like a V-Fly on the pant, and doing some other things like that, expanding the modal options. Right now, we just had them all in one color. As far as the pants, just the D size. So looking to add the A, B, and C pouch sizes on the modal pant, more colors, and the V-Fly on the nylon and the modal. So, but that's
Okay.
that's next season coming through. But the pouch or the jock and the thong are the more near term things are going. And I'm also working on an integrated, like a running short with a liner. Underwear liner in there with our pouch, and so there's a number of different products we have. So some of this stuff takes a lot longer, right, to develop, because the thing is, like, I'm not going to launch a product until I'm absolutely like love it and feel like that it's significantly better than stuff that's out there on the market now. So it took me over a year to get the pant to where I was comfortable launching it. As a perfect no, but it's way better than anything that's
Mhm.
that's out there. And we continue to refine it every production run. I'm making different adjustments and
Mhm.
on sizing to improve the fit and the feel. And so we're doing that in a lot of our products. So it's constantly evolving, and making, okay, we're going to make this change on the 4X and 5X of this set. And we're going to make this
Mhm.
change on the extra small. And right, just trying to dial in that fit as we get feedback from different customers, and they're like, hey, what about this? And what about that? Hey, I was using it for this application or that application. And so, hey, I really like this because I like this back rise because I have a concealed carry, and I want
Mhm.
to, do this. It's like, well, I never even thought about that. Or I'm wearing these to go swimming, or I'm wearing these scuba diving. And oh, okay, I didn't even think about that, right? So you get these different feedback. It's crazy from different customers. And so we make different modifications as we get feedback from different customers to try to continue to dial that fit in, and just enhance it. It's not about like, oh, it was crappy before, now we're going to make it way better. It's like, hey, this is great, but we're going to continue to make it better. Of course, we have copycats. We have Chinese factory copycats. They're copying
Yeah.
things, and so we always need to just stay ahead of them as far as what they're doing.
So it sounds like you got a pretty good like pulse on like what your people are asking for. How how do you do that? Like how do you engage with the customers? Do you have like a group or something that you're using to chat with your customers, or is it just through email?
Well, lots of different ways that we get feedback, right? So we do have a subreddit that we're doing with Men's Underwear Guide. So if you're on Reddit, so go to Men's Underwear Guide. So we're getting
Okay.
different feedback there. We're fairly active on Reddit across a number of different subs and answering questions there as people post, and so they provide feedback there. On TikTok is amazing. It's really helped us connect like so well with customers. So we've done hundreds and hundreds of hours. Personally, I think I've done 300 plus hours on TikTok lives. And so we get a lot of direct feedback there. And of course, then DMs on TikTok, DMs on Instagram, Facebook, and lots of emails. I have people handwriting me letters, and so it's like pretty amazing. And phone calls, people calling and texting, getting a hold of me and providing feedback. I had a guy that is a double amputee, right? Both of his legs were amputated, just two stubs. Had horrible time with all underwear until he found our product, because his prosthetics were constantly rubbing on his package, right? And so it wasn't until he had our product where it actually could lift him up and separate him that he stopped having this major rubbing and chafing issues. He literally like it's life changing for him, right? So it's awesome to see that type of or receive that type of feedback. Where like I wasn't designing things like targeting double amputees, but it literally changed his life, right? And significantly improvement in the quality of his life. And so I've had a lot of different people, like that. Other people have had other type of operations on their prosthetic or not prosthetic prostates, and other types of
vasectomies
and things like that, right? And so just the pouch has been just a godsend for them as they've gone through post-operation, just living, and to be able to support them, and so it's been really pretty amazing, the breadth of individuals that we've been able to have an impact on that weren't originally like who we were necessarily thinking about when we designed it, but they have found that it's been just absolutely amazing for them. And so that's super cool. You get that feedback. But we get it from all over, Amazon reviews and TikTok reviews, and then DMs, and so we try to respond to and provide feedback, or replies as much as we can, but in some cases we literally get thousands of messages from people, and so we get a lot of feedback. I mean, I've had people do full 5-6 page write-ups as far as like minute play by play, like as they went through their day, like experiences they had, which has been awesome for me. Now some of these guys would not go and put that like on TikTok or on like a review, but they send it directly to me. And so like because they love the product, but they're like, hey, this is actually how I'm using it, and these are ways that we can make it better. Somebody that's like a 4XL, because I wear a large size, right? So I don't know how it fits on somebody that's a 4X, right? And with a certain body type. And so that customer feedback is like super important to be able to help us understand like how it fits, like with these different body types, right? Skinny waist, big glute, big thigh, no thigh, right? Tall, short, right? So.
Okay. Well, I think that's a pretty good like place to stop for now, because like I have a few more questions. I actually kind of have a lot more questions, but we can get into that later. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. That will conclude this for now. But we really look forward to seeing you on the next video. Drop your comments down below. Drop your questions. Eventually, we want to get a little better at sort of having a space where you can drop your questions. For right now, we're going to stick with the YouTube comments, or if you're on Instagram comments. We'll do our best to sort of collate these, to get them together and kind of find the most asked questions so that we can engage with these topics well. So yeah, you can get a hold of us by emailing us at hello.rmac.store, hello@rmac.store. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, and obviously here on the YouTube channel and Facebook. Also, our website is rmac.store. In case you didn't pick up on that before, it is once again rmac.store. We look forward to seeing you all next time.